So Drew Timme is somebody that most people who were watching basketball in the late or in the early 2020s probably remember. We remember a lot of people remember that Gonzaga team when he was if I'm right in saying he was a junior in college. And in fairness, he had a super senior year he didn't take, but he was a junior in college, and people were like, "This dude's like 35." And it was like him, Corey Kispert, they had Jalen Suggs, and there was all this talk about could this Gonzaga team beat an NBA team? And then just like the last time that conversation happened with the 2015 Kentucky team, they didn't even win the championship. They got absolutely demolished by Davion Mitchell. Was it Baylor? Baylor that beat them? And then they got Chet the next year and lost again. I think it was Baylor, yeah. They got killed by Davion Mitchell. And from then on, his time in Gonzaga that second year was nowhere near. They were supposed to be great. They had, I think they had Andrew Nembhard that year as well. But they just didn't win it. What's it? Gonzaga. It was the Chet Holmgren year. 2022 basketball. Can't even remember who was on that team. 21-22 roster. They had Julian Strawder, they had Drew Timme, they had Andrew Nembhard, they had Chet Holmgren, obviously. And when it was all said and done, they just did not perform to the level that they were expected. They did not perform to the level, as in they were expected to at least be competing. Okay, no, Drew Timme was on the 22-23 roster. Did he take a super senior? Or was he only a sophomore? He was only a sophomore in that 2021 season. Wow. Either way, he's on the Lakers. They cut Bronny James so they could sign Drew Timme. And well deserved. The man averaged 30 points per game. Was averaging 30 points per game for a week in the G League. He has absolutely been one of the best players in the G League. And I've said this about Drew Timme so many times. I'm like, man, eventually Drew Timme just has to go and just play in China or play in Europe or something and be a star instead of hovering between the G League and the NBA. Because in fairness, I do think that he can still put the ball in the basket at the NBA level. Like did he average like 12 points per game? I think he might have averaged 12 points a game last season. But again, the Lakers are signing him to a two-way contract. And the reality is that if he's getting signed to a two-way, they're probably calling him up. The Lakers plan to sign him to a two-way contract. Nick Smith Jr., Coloco, and Chris Magnon are on the 3 two-ways. See here, Smith won't be the odd man out, so either Coloco or Magnon. It'll be probably Magnon. Will be released to make roster space for Timme. Timme had a decorated college career. The Nets picked up their option, yada yada, in June, but his salary was fully non-guaranteed. They ended up waiving him during preseason. He averaged 12.1 points, 7.2 boards, and 2.2 assists in 9 appearances down the stretch last year. His shooting, not great splits. Timme, who put up big numbers for the Nets in Summer League, has been playing in the G League South Bay Lakers. And he's way too good. He's probably, there's a good chance that Timme is one of those, way too good for the G League, not good enough for the NBA players. What is it? Obviously we've, it's a term known as Cameron Jerome syndrome in football. And I remember in the Urban Dictionary, I tried to get this term put into the dictionary, Jimmer Fredette syndrome. He is suffering from Jimmer Fredette syndrome. But at least the reality is he's probably going to be up with the Lakers at some stage. And he's going to get his shot. And I thought he did well last year with Brooklyn. But he's never really going to be a key contributor in the NBA. He's really never going to be a key contributor. But you just never know what's going to happen with him. Genuinely, you just don't know what's going to happen. But at the same time, look, hopefully we are looking now at a start of a NBA career for him, because maybe he's not good enough for the Lakers. But again, at least maybe it's a merit thing. Maybe it's on merit. Because at least on merit, realistically, Drew Timme is one of these guys that is maybe on merit one of those end of the roster slots. And the reality is he's going to go and probably give the Lakers some better minutes than Bronald. And that's just an unfortunate reality that there is only a finite amount of spots. And that's the thing with the two ways is that I don't think Chris Mignogne's that much better than Bronny James. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's that much better than Bronny. But like, the fact is that there is a world where you have to choose. And if they want to call up RJ Davis, who's hooping in the G League, who, by the way, is better than Bronny as well. He's absolutely hooping. If it turns out that RJ Davis is playing much better than Bronny, it then gets to the stage where because they signed Bronny to that guaranteed 4-year deal, that they actually can't bring up RJ Davis without cutting Drew Timme again, or Christian Koloko, who can, he isn't great in fairness, but has that higher ceiling, or Timme who's better right now. Yeah, look, it is an interesting one all around to see what's happening, but there's just, again, there's so few roster spots. There's so few roster spots in the NBA, and it is just seeing one being a Nepo signing. And by the way, Bronny's far from the first Nepo signing. To act like David Stockton was an NBA player back in the day, but it wasn't. He was signed because of who his dad was, more so than anything, not necessarily. He wasn't necessarily signed by his dad. And the amount of people that have called, and by the way, the amount of people that have called the fucking Austin Rivers a Nepo signing have never watched Austin Rivers play basketball. Austin Rivers was a fucking hooper. He was even good at times in the NBA. But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. What do you guys think about the Drew Timme sign? Do you think he's going to go right up and play in the NBA? Do you guys think that he's going to be in there replacing Bronny as Bronny's been sent down? You never know. You never know. And also, I just forgot, they have Kobe Buffkin as well. So if they want to call up Kobe Buffkin to the main team, if he starts hooping in the G League, it becomes really, really tough with that guaranteed contract. It genuinely becomes tough for that guaranteed contract. But look, it is what it is. It is what it is. One of those guaranteed contracts doesn't sell jerseys, but at the same time, look, different positions. And I think there's an argument to be made that Drew Timme at this point in time is better than Maxi Kleber. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.